Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to Armchair Pundits. As you can see, you've got myself, James, you've got Bevan, you've got Lamont. How you doing, guys?
Yeah, man, I'm good. Looking
Big up
forward to this
yourself,
one.
James. Big up yourself, Jay.
Safe, safe. So, international break, when it's usually very boring. So, we decided to take a look at the Ballon d'Or list that was posted late last week, I believe, and decided to have a look to see who we think should be there or shouldn't be there, and who we think the overall winner will be. So, um, as I always normally forget to do, if this is your first time watching, please like and subscribe, because by the end of the time you're watching it, you will want to subscribe. So you want to subscribe now, and share it once you're finished. So, first of all, I'll read out. It's a long list. I'll read out the list, but I'll also put it on the screen. In fact, I won't read it out because I'm going to put it on the screen. No, I'll read it out. I'll read it out. Jude Bellingham, Hakan Çalhanoğlu, Danny Carvajal, Ruben Diaz, Artem Dobrik, Phil Foden, Alejandro Grimaldo, Erling Haaland, Mats Hummels, Harry Kane, Toni Kroos, Ademola Lookman, Emiliano Martinez, Lautaro Martinez, Kylian Mbappe, Martin Odegaard, Danny Olmo, Cole Palmer, Declan Rice, Rodri, Antonio Rudiger, Bukayo Saka, William Saliba, Federico Valverde, Vinicius Junior, Vitinha, Nico Williams, Florian Wirtz, Granit Xhaka, and Lamine Yamal. So that was the list. And first name for you guys that stands out that you think, really, that guy's in there? So, Bevan, first guy that you think, right, he's in there too.
First guy for me, I would say I'd say Ruben Diaz, but then I suppose he won the Premier League, but still, I don't think he's just getting just for winning the Premier League. I think there's got to be a bit more about a bit more about you. And then considering that even at the Euros, it was Pepe that was being spoken about more than him. Yeah, that's a bit.
I agree. I don't think he had a very good Premier League season, to be fair. He was in and out of Pep's team quite often. In terms of their centre backs, if I'm being completely honest, I thought what's his name, the Swiss centre back, Kanji,
yeah,
had a better season in the Premier League than him, and he wasn't far off in terms of getting as far in the Euros.
Kanji had a good Euros.
Yes, I think he got into team of the season. So for me, I would, out of the Man City players, I'd have the Kanji in the head of Diaz.
Yeah, I have to agree with that because especially when you're bringing Pepe into the front as well, because when you're bringing Pepe into the conversation, the guy has had a long-standing career. He should not be out. And I say it respectfully, with as much respect as possible, he should not be outshining Ruben Diaz, who's arguably, in and around his prime. You know what I mean? He's had a good few years to polish off his kind of, positional expertise, if you like. And yeah, I don't feel like this particular tournament kind of put him in good stead. I feel like there was plenty that he's going to reflect on and think like, I've got to do better next time round.
Yeah.
But yeah, when you say which one stood out for you on this list, Jay, I'm not going to lie. There's a few names. There isn't just one. There's a few names. I'm just going to, if you don't mind, just say a few rather than just doing one because I don't want to, be biased, if you like. Lookman.
Hat-trick in the finals.
Listen, if all you need to do is score a hat-trick in a final, we would have a few questions, other people on here.
How many people score hat-tricks in European finals, bro?
But what did he do for the rest of the tournament?
He was good leading up in the tournament as well.
Yeah, he was good. But he was amazing in the final. But let's be honest, if he wasn't in the team in the run-up to the final, would he have been that missed? Minus the final, up until
I
don't think so.
Bro, how many players have
I played against him against Liverpool, and he did us as well in the quarterfinals.
Yeah.
He played against us, and he done us over both games. Look,
I feel
Lookman
like
had
they
a
put some
good
names in here
year.
for fodder though. I don't think they put the names in there on a serious. Like, what's the other guy? Vitinha? Vitinha
Vitinha.
I
for
can go
PSG.
with that. I can
Yeah.
agree with that.
I mean, yeah, he was in a PSG side that. I mean, really, he didn't stand out for
They
me.
walked the league. Yeah, they walked the league.
They w- But you know what it is, isn't it? You know that with the Ballon d'Or winners, if PSG won the league, so he's gonna be in it. And Vitinha, he did have a decent Euros as well, so that's gonna come into factor. Recency bias also plays a factor into it, bro.
Yeah, I guess so. But I feel like some people's names kind of made themselves kind of available for the Ballon d'Or nominees, if you like. I mean, even the likes of Nico Williams. I mean, he didn't. Yes, he had a very good Euros. I mean,
his season in general wasn't great.
yeah. I mean, it's, again, these guys should be recognized on the younger level. Not these guys. I was going to go into Yamal, but these guys are still waiting to really step in and say, right, I'm making a claim for it. I think it's too early for Yamal. I feel like he's a really good player. I feel like he's got loads of potential, but he needs to be recognized on the younger platform so he's got something to aspire to. They're trying to shoot the shot too early, and just because he had an exciting Euros, they're thinking, right, let's put him into the Ballon d'Or, conversation. No, like let's, let the guys go on.
But at the same time, there's certain guys that are here just to be recognized. Like they know they're not going to win it, but like Lookman, 17 goals, 10 assists this season. Everyone knows he's not going to win it, but he's there just as recognized. He's had a really good year.
Was that in his domestic league? Yeah.
Yeah, so 11 in the league, 5 in Europa League, and 1 in the Italian Cup, and he also had a very good African nation as well.
Yes, he did have a very good African nations.
That's in the same year. So you add his African nations in it. He's probably going to get African Player of the Year end of the season.
Let's put it into.
But you know, you see that the same thing we said about Williams. Spain won the Euros, and Bilbao won the Copa del Rey. So you're gonna, and because considering the Euros that he did have, you're talking about him being on. I know it's not the world stage, but I mean, at this year, you got Euros and you got Copa America. So it's as close as you can see to be against like your European counterparts or your South American counterparts, and how you performed on the elite, the most elite level that you could be at. So
like with that with that and UJ, when I'm looking at the likes of Ballon d'Or, you've got 3 criteria, yeah? 3 criteria. The first criteria is individual performance. So that's decisiveness and the impressiveness, yeah? Secondly, you got collective performance and track record. And then you got, thirdly, class and fair play. Now, we've just had a conversation about a few guys. We haven't even really chewed the fat on the rest of the guys that are in there. But you're saying that the names that we've mentioned, and you're saying, Jay, just to kind of go back to what you're saying about some guys are just there for recognition.
Yeah.
If you're going to say that, but then that criteria that I just mentioned to you has to go out the window, because some of them guys, you would argue that they're not really going to give you the collective performance and the track record, or they're not necessarily going to give you the class and the fair play.
But then
it's true. But go on.
No, go on, James.
No, but it's true because you look at Hakan Çalhanoğlu, didn't really win anything this year.
No.
So you could argue, what's he there for? Artem Dovbyk, he had a really breakout season for Girona, and he possibly
Pause a minute. Girona, okay? Girona.
Yeah.
But
Girona will fight for the league for quite a season.
How many goals did he score this season? Do you mind just looking at that? Because what I want to do...
20-something goals.
20-something goals,
So when Lukaku was doing that at Everton, right, scoring 20-plus goals, why was no one putting him in the conversation for Ballon d'Or? Can I ask?
No, he might have been. It's a 30-man list. He might have been in that conversation. We can't remember now. But you're saying that he 100% wasn't. He might have been in that list.
Yeah, I don't think the project should be on the list though. Just for an outstanding season.
Wait,
Girona.
Where did Girona finish last season?
I'm pretty sure they came second in the end.
So they're going to be in the Champions League.
Out of nowhere, and they're in the Champions League. This is a team, yeah.
But so you could, because you're gonna argue the same argument that you're gonna have for him not to be in there because of his performance to get the goals that he scored for Girona to get to the Champions League. You would argue that
the contributions,
Cole
24 goals, 24 goals and assists.
Cole Palmer's contributions to get Chelsea to Europa League, is still going to be worthy, and he's going to be in the. But hold on, because you're looking at Cole Palmer's overall performance, and you're looking.
He got you.
You did get me. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. You got me there. But Cole Palmer has definitely come in, and he hits those criteria that I said on the head. To be honest with you,
but bro, Genoa, Girona. It's not quite the same, is it?
No. But then obviously we were talking about Bellingham, and we were talking about Bellingham being on the list as well.
Yeah,
I feel like.
But you go back over the criteria about what you said, and so that would determine whether somebody's going to be worthy or not. Because if you're going to have an impact in terms of, all right, we spoke about Williams, right? And you're talking about his impact on the European stage and how much impact he had on that Spanish team winning it, and being in a team of the tournament. That's going to go some way to qualify him to be to be nominated for the Ballon d'Or. In the conversation. Just for the conversation, because it's recognition for something that how you performed over the season. And as we all know, if you perform well on that stage, you're going to be noticed. You're going to be given some kind of recognition. But then at the same time, our players are going to be noticed because of their contributions to the team over the season as well. And that's why you would have Dubrovnik, I can't even say his name. Artem. That's why you're going to have Artem. Yeah, that's why you're going to have Artem being nominated in this award. He's being recognised for his contribution.
All right, so based on what you're saying, though, B, on what you're saying, you've got Martinez, the keeper, right?
Yeah. They won the what do you call it?
Copa America.
They won the Copa America, but realistically, we all know that he's not the most reliable keeper. He's usually surrounded by a secure defense when he is deemed to be, invaluable, safe hands, so on and so forth. But I've got to be honest. Again, him being on there, it's just fodder. Again, it's to have people having the conversations that we're having now. I don't think they're genuinely thinking like, he deserves a place on here. Like, surely not. I don't think.
But I think part of the thing is
we're talking about class and fair play as well,
Yeah, but I think they just have that stuff there. We all know if you win something, generally you get on his list. He won something as a goalkeeper, so he got on a list. You could argue why did the Spanish goalkeeper get on the list? I don't know why the Spanish goalkeeper didn't get on the list, because I'm pretty sure he's not on there. Let me double check. But I don't remember seeing his name on there when I read it out. So. So in your argument, that's correct, because he's won the Euros, and for Bilbao he won the Spanish Cup. Yeah, Martinez is on this list. He nearly won the Copa America. Literally. So in that respect, I say only. Obviously, it's a good competition.
But there's no consistency in the nominations. In my agree, it's either they were kind of struggling to find a consistent, a consistent flow of people to pick from, or they really just drawing names out of a hat.
But then it depends.
I feel bad like I've done Nico Williams a little bit dirty. I'm not gonna lie. I do feel like, so I'll probably slightly take that back, to be fair. But there is, Artem. I get it. Girona got second. He had an outstanding outbreak season, and now he's got his move to Roma, I believe.
He's gone Roma. He's gone Roma.
Roma.
He's gone Roma. So it's like, right, is he gonna now kick on? Take last season and bring it the same kind of energy to this season? Who knows?
But it's
also a journalist. You got to remember, it's journalists that voted for though. So it's true. It's a bit wilder. Before it used to be the national team's captains and coaches. So it was a bit different. But now it's journalists. Then it is one. Like I said, I said to you guys offline, how's Musiala not on this list? You've got
that's
Hassan Çalhanoğlu on here, and Musiala is not on this list. Guy
I
won
think that's a
Golden Boot,
travesty. Yeah,
and he was got 17 goals. I think he got this season.
outstanding Euros, by the way.
Yeah,
Outstanding.
oh, sorry, 10 goals, not 17. He got 10 goals altogether this season, and it's like, nah, actually no, I'm wrong again. Sorry, I'm only looking at it's only 10 in Bundesliga. He got 12 goals, only 2 more. The 12 goals in the Champions League, and that's not counting the Euros, because he obviously got top goal scorer. So he should have been on there, as far as I'm concerned. So
Yeah, agreed.
it's weird. It's a weird one.
But,
How they've done it.
James, same thing talking about people winning stuff.
Mm.
Inter won Serie A last season.
Yeah, and Lautaro Martinez. Oh, okay.
That's why
That's why. So him and Lautaro Martinez. See, that's why.
But even though that's just like that for me is, I get it, but I don't. It's like these guys, were they really in that integral? And I say that loosely because I'm not watching. I think Lautaro deserves it. He had a very good year, even you know, the tournaments that he played in, and you know, for
winning goal in for the, what do you call it, Copa America.
Yeah, he had a very good season. Go on.
Do you know what it is? I think because we're used to, when we see Ballon d'Or, when you think Ballon d'Or, we think of individual brilliance.
Yeah.
And individual brilliance over a season. And you're not used to like man getting participation awards. Oh, let's recognize this guy and let him go to a ceremony, clap for him, give him his flowers, because
it's
as you see it on the list with Mats Hummels on there.
He won nothing. I don't know how he's on that list. I don't know how he's on this. Like, obviously, Kane won Golden Boot, so he got in it. But I don't know.
I mean, let's be honest. The last
Rodrigo. I thought he had a really good season. For Real Madrid.
Yeah, he did.
And
he got robbed. He got robbed. He should be on the list over Saka. Easily.
Yeah, to be fair, yes, because of winning, because of the fact. So I would easily.
Saka's on the list because he got to the finals, bro. He's not on the list for anything else. How many goals did he score last season?
16, I think.
A lot of assists as well. He did have a lot of assists. I think he was integral to where Arsenal finished last season.
As an Arsenal man, do you think Martin Odegaard should be on the list? Ballon d'Or.
I think he should be on the.
I think last season before was better than last season.
The season before was better than last season's. I'm a bit surprised, but then I think it's because I'm going to use a word I don't really like. It's the intangibles. That's why he's there. It's the stuff that he does. He gets the team he gets the team going. He gets the team ticking. It might not be goals and assists, but there's other things he's the heartbeat, and that's why he's there. I don't want to say passion merchant. I don't want to say hard worker because I think that's a bit disrespectful. But his contribution, again, for going back to criteria, his contribution to Arsenal last season is the reason why he's on that list. I suppose if we're talking, and that would take it away from just someone being on the list purely because of being a part of a trophy winning team.
But that's what it's meant to be. Ballon d'Or's meant to be the guy that is doing the bits. He's the guy that turning things around, making. He's winning trophies. He's taking it home, not like positive contribution. That's the kind of stuff you get when you're in secondary school, fella.
But
like we're talking Ballon d'Or. We're talking elite level.
Are we gonna go back to the same reason why Cole Palmer's on this list?
No, but I'm telling you now. No, listen. Even Cole Palmer, when I had that conversation about Cole Palmer, I was talking about Bellingham and kind of
who you don't think should be on the list.
Who I don't really believe should be on the list because I just feel like he weren't consistent throughout the entire season. You know, he fell off towards the end. You could argue that was down to injury. Yeah, all right, fair play. But still, we're talking about a person that's consistently been consistent throughout the entire season. That's what I'm measuring this on. I feel like some of the names on this list really devalue like what the Ballon d'Or stands for. I don't feel like everybody on here is a true representation of the Ballon d'Or and the high stakes that it holds.
But bro,
I really
we're
don't.
looking.
The funny thing about this Bellingham thing, yeah, they say he wasn't consistent throughout, yeah. So he started the season on fire, yes. He scored what 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 goals in his first 4 games. But then like he didn't do nothing in the second half of the season. So he scored in his third last game of the season, his fifth last game of the season, his seventh last game of the season. In his third last game of the season, he also got 2 assists. So it's not like he didn't do anything towards the end of the season. I'm pretty sure he got the winner in the Clasico. I think he scored in both Clasicos. If I'm looking at it correctly.
I remember him scoring a banger at least one.
So he got 2 in one Clasico.
Was he second top goal scorer in La Liga? Or he was very close to the top?
I think he was. I'm not gonna say 100%, but he got 19 goals in La Liga in 28 games from a midfield position. Yes, it was high. It was almost like a false 9. So I could concede that. But your first season in the Liga, and you'll be known as a box-to-box midfielder to dominate, and he dominated it. In all honesty, 4 goals.
Yeah, he dominated it when he first arrived. I don't believe that
Sorry to cut you, but that is because, and the manager said himself, he had to change his role. As the team season went on and his injuries impacted him, he had to change the role and how he played. So he didn't seem as effective as he was before. So it wasn't that he was now a lesser player. His role changed. So he wasn't scoring the same amount of goals he was getting before because they changed his role. But he was still clutch in big moments.
Yeah.
The Euros, we've said it before here, Southgate messed him around. He didn't utilize him properly. He's an 8. For England, he's an 8. Yes.
To be fair, I think his injury hampered it though. His injury hampered him in the Euros. Yeah. I don't think that done him any favors. So when I'm overall looking at Bellingham, I'm not cutting you. Like you can jump back in, but I'm saying when you're talking about Bellingham and I'm mentioning him, I don't believe he should be on there. Is because I don't like when I looked at England. Yeah, okay, cool. Again, you know, he scored a few clutch goals and got them over the line more than once during the Euros. But when I was looking at the system and his play, and I just didn't feel like he was an integral element to the team. I didn't feel like, other than the 1 or 2 goals he scored, and I don't really want to contradict myself, but it's like I found it hard to say, you know, he changed that game. Like,
bro, you're expecting him to be a maverick, and in this era there are not very many mavericks. We grew up in an era of seeing players do amazing things and we were blessed to see so many mavericks. We were blessed to see players like Nedved and Zidane and stuff like that. We can't compare what's happening to. We got to compare Jude playing in.
It's hard not to, man.
No, but bro,
so hard.
We can only compare Jude playing in this era. We can't just because who else is he? Who else? Sorry, you can only compare him to his peers, and that's why he's in the list. Who else would be in there above him?
That's a better question than I've heard. To be fair, that's a great question, bruv. To be honest, it's a good question. It is a very good question.
I'm going to say something on a tangent. I'm going to say something on a tangent because we've had a conversation in the past about like players that are world class, and we've argued whether Luis Diaz is world class, him being one of the best in the world, but all we can compare him to is the other left wingers that are out there. So in terms of players at the moment, and you think, is this player world class or not? Compared to who? And compared to what?
Because he's doing what he's doing.
Yeah. So if he like, it might not look like you're expecting him to do. If you're expecting him to do like Steven Gerrard, Frank Lampard stuff, that's not his game. He might not be able to do that. But what he was doing was coming up clutch.
That's light work. Them man that weren't doing nothing really. That's light work.
But the thing is, well, I add to that, Bevan. When he was asked to do the Gerrard Lampard stuff, he did it.
Yeah.
At the beginning of the season, he was asked, "This is your role, do it." When the season changed, when things changed in the club, he was asked to do something else. Then he stopped doing that, and he became more solid. He helped out when they had injuries in midfield, and he dropped deeper. So he showed all parts of his game. Like I said, going back to the Euros, everyone was screaming out saying, "Why is he not playing as an 8? Play him next to Rice, not ahead of Rice, and then you get a better
Yeah.
Bellingham." And then you played him in a position where he was having to do the 8 job as well as the 10 job, as well as tracking back to left back, and it just 70 minutes he was finished, but he was still playing the injury time in the knockouts, so it made him look worse than he should have done. But I don't know, he's a legit person on that list for me.
All right.
And
2-1, I guess.
I said Musiala why is he not on that list? The only person that
Yeah.
rivals him was Musiala.
Yeah, it's true.
Realistically, the next person behind is Musiala, and he's not even on the list.
Yeah, to be fair, that's the person that I should come back with is Musiala. To be fair, I looked on the list. Omo's on there, so arguably you can't really use him. But yeah,
No.
He wouldn't be on it if it wasn't for the Euros.
He wouldn't. No, he wouldn't. He wouldn't be on it for if
His
it
league
wasn't
season
for,
wasn't great.
No. Look, I mean, yeah. I mean, I think we could argue that the quality on the list is probably not as good of what we've seen over the years.
Yeah.
But then when you're looking at 20 plus years of dominance between Cristiano
Messi
Ronaldo and Messi, you got to respect the levels like that them two have been on for years, and you really got to give them their flowers. Do you get what I'm saying?
I mean,
because they were doing
bits, but when was the last time you actually scrutinized the list, the whole list of a?
You didn't. No one cared.
You just didn't.
Knew who the winners
Because you just didn't.
So
which one of the two is going to win it? Now, realistically, yeah. So I'll go to our last point. Who's going to win it, Lamont? In your eyes,
this year?
Yeah.
Jay, man.
Okay. There's 2 questions: who should win it and who's going to win it? Because the
All
person
right, better.
doesn't always win it.
Better. Vinny J should win it. Vinicius Jr. But I think Rodri is gonna do it. And the only reason why I say Vinicius Jr. might not win it is because he was suspended for Brazil in the Copa America, and they didn't go on to win it. Which, to be fair, the way they were dominating the tournament, I say dominating, they were quite consistent in the tournament, and he was very good. They would have easily taken it on, and I reckon they would have. I reckon they would have definitely given a good fight to Argentina. Do you get what I'm saying? But you don't think so?
Bruv, you
don't think so?
And Ronaldinho said he doesn't want to watch this iteration of Brazil. See, they were disgrace, bro.
Yeah, but you know, but he's saying that. He's saying that, but honestly, when we're talking about earlier on about Mavericks, Vinicius Jr. is that guy, bruv. He is the Maverick. He is the guy that he can make something out of nothing. And honestly,
I don't think they would have won it. I don't think they're rounded enough. But I can't sit there and say there's no chance. There's always a chance.
Football's about moments, though, bro.
Yeah.
Football's about moments, mate.
Win a game out of nothing. So,
Football's about moments. Look at Atlanta and Lookman scoring 3 goals in the final, bruv. He had 3 moments and took all 3 of them. So it's one of them ones.
Bro, did you see his goals, though?
No, they were very good goals. All right, so let me say it to you. You think Vinicius Jr. ain't capable of doing that?
I'm not saying he's not capable of doing that.
Right, so that's my point I'm making.
Bro, who gave Atalanta a chance in winning that game? Because that was the first game that Leverkusen lost all season.
Yeah, true. The backs were against the wall. But like just the point I was making was football's about moments. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Okay. Cool. It's heavily weighted on form, but we're talking about people and moments. And I say Vinicius Jr. on that list is a man that will change a game at a drop of a hat, whether it be playing the ball through, doing a jinky and getting past the fullback and he's in, or even making a run into central down the line, whatever it is. But yeah, like just going back to your point, Jay. I think Rodri. I think Rodri's gonna win it. I think all the chatter and just what he's done over the last year, he's been very consistent, and he's notably one of the most important players in every team he plays in. Notably,
yeah.
Right, so for you, Bevan, who do you think should win it, and who's gonna win?
So in terms of, I think that Rodri should win it, and I think Rodri's going to win it. In terms of his importance to the Man City team that he's in, when he wasn't in the team, they didn't look the same and they lost games. And then his impact that he had for Spain in the Euros as well. He came off injured in the final, but he got them to the final. He was integral to them winning it. So I think it's going to be Rodri, because he not only can he defend, but he can also pop up with goals when needed be, and he did that for Spain in the Euros, and he did that for Man City throughout the league. I suppose the only thing he didn't do was win the Champions League, but I think it's gonna go. I think it should be Rodri, and I think it's gonna go to Rodri.
What about you, Jay?
See, I can't split personally. In terms of who I think, I can't split Bellingham and Junior. I know people say Vinicius Junior had the better season in terms of Champions League, but Bellingham, I think I look at their stats. Vinicius Junior, 39 games, 24 goals, 11 assists. Jude Bellingham, for someone who's not known as a goal scorer, was it 42 games, 23 goals, 13 assists. So those numbers are ridiculous.
That's
Yes,
form.
his Euros weren't great, but I think Bellingham should win it. I agree. It probably will be. I think Vinicius will win it. I don't know why. I can see your arguments in Rodri, but I just have a slight feeling that Vinicius Junior will win it, but it should be Bellingham.
I mean, I'm looking at the criteria, Jay. The only reason why, like I said to you, I don't think I think he should, but he won't win it, is just because of the fair play side of things. And, you know,
for the red card,
I think the red card will have stung him.
Do you know
I
what?
think, to be honest, I really do. Go on.
Rodri had a few red cards in the season as well, though. 2, if I remember.
The thing with Jude, I think because of how bad the Euros was, I think that's going to go against him, and because of how he tailed off towards the end of the season as well. I think the first 3 quarters, of the season were great, but I think that's gonna affect him, because I agree. It's gonna be between all 3 of them. It's going to be between. I think those are 1, 2, and 3. So whoever wins it, you know, I don't think anybody's going to be wrong for who they've picked. And you could have. I think there's arguments to be had for all 3 of them to win it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Do you see Yamal getting in there? I don't think so personally.
No,
I don't think so.
He'll win Golden Boy probably.
Yeah, Golden Boy. He'll get that. I mean, I think Washington will come a close second. Nico will come a close second. But I feel like Yamal's had so many moments that he'll be recognised for them all, you know, and, you know, this is his time almost. But I do feel like there needs to be an honourable mention for Dani Carvajal. I do, because he's been part of all of, you know, the dominance in competitions in both internationally and domestically. So, you know, the only thing is his track record isn't great for suspensions, so on and so forth. You know what I'm saying? So I feel, again, that will probably go, if they're really going to scrutinise him, I think that's what it will be. It will be down to him just not paying on the right side of the law. So outside of that, I do feel he needs an honourable mention, though, because, again, he's had an outstanding year, and, you know, he's 30 plus, so, you know, you need to recognise real as well. He's playing at a very high level.
Yeah, that's fair. So I guess we've come to the end. We've had our debates. Actually, a few comments for Florian Wirtz and Grimaldo and Xhaka, because I think they were rightfully on that list with the season they had with Leverkusen. Xhaka, after he's with Arsenal, not rubbing salt into him, but obviously disappointed season. No, it was a disappointed season.
Yeah.
He thought he could have won the league. He leaves, and he probably didn't really want to leave Arsenal. But then he goes and has an unbeaten season, almost unbeaten league season, but almost unbeaten season in total, and he was integral.
And a double, domestic double as well.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I mean, he left Arsenal because he wanted to win something, Jay. That's why. But go on.
It was always going to come. But yeah.
I was waiting for that.
So,
I'm surprised. To be fair, I'm surprised you not mentioned Salah and Van Dijk. to be honest.
Listen.
Sorry
Van
to
Dijk-
cut you. I don't want to be rude, but I'm really surprised.
I didn't want to make it Liverpool, but I don't know how Hummels is in there and Van Dijk's not.
I don't know myself.
But
I've got it
it's
here in
because-
black and white.
but-
Why is Van Dijk not on the list? And I don't like Liverpool players.
But the question is, Hummels did it in the Champions League, and he got rave reviews in the semi-finals and in the quarterfinals. And Van Dijk was playing in the what do you call it, in Europa League, and we got knocked out by Atalanta. He had a very good Premier League season, but we didn't win anything. So I understand how he gets overlooked for Hummels, but when I look at the two seasons compared, I don't think Hummels had a better season. But maybe I'm being biased because I'm a Liverpool fan. Salah, I don't know how Salah tailed off after his injuries, after African Nations. He was a shadow of himself. He still got 18 goals, 90 goals, and 30 plus goals and assists. But in all fairness, he didn't shine because his country got knocked out of the African Nations because he got injured, and then he came back from his first big injury and he didn't perform to the standards he usually did in the second half of the season. So
Fair.
I get it with Salah. I get it. So I'm not completely mad that they're not involved, but he's still the best right winger in the world, or right side forward in the world. It just has to prove it again this year. But this has been our chat on the Ballon d'Or nominees 2024. Have your views, have your say in the chat. Do you think we were right in some of the guys we believe shouldn't have been there? Are there guys that you thought that should have been there? Let us know in the chat. Don't forget to watch our shorts on Instagram and on TikTok. And on X, you'll see me posting some stuff out as well. So our TikTok is at Armchair Pundits. At Armchair.Pundits. Our Instagram is at Armchair Pundits Podcast. And our X, formerly known as Twitter, is at Armchair Pundits. So, thanks, Damon. Thanks, Bevan.
Thank you.
Have a good evening, guys.
Peace.
Peace.